Our story continues with a right royal mess.
One day, just after duck hunting season had finished, out of the blue flew Cousin Swift. He was delivering an airmail invitation from King Rory the Aussie land king parrot. The message said, "Why don't you and the family pop over to the royal coop on the weekend for a party? P.S. Please come, or Queen Alexandra might fly off her perch again." We were left shirtless.
"What a great honor,"
said Ma. We quickly cleaned each other up, gathered a few nuts and berries for the long trip, navigated a flight plan, then frantically flew due south as Sooty the crow flies. After a 3-day flight, we arrived at the Palace Airport, where customs officers checked under our feathers to make sure that we weren't trying to smuggle any white monkeys in. King Rory greeted us at the palace door with open wings, and then proceeded to frisk us from beak to toe.
"I'm very sorry,"
he said,
"but you can't be too careful these days."
Hurriedly, he escorted us up to the main perch and quickly handed each of us numbered medallions, then officially knighted us. Everything moved so fast that we didn't know what had hit us. All of a sudden a medallion with PS6 etched in it was hung around my neck. Crow got a PP5. LD's was a LDPE4. Uncle Vinny's was a PVC3. And HD got a HDPE2. Ma and Pa were very proud parrots. Finally their kids had made numbers for themselves. And what about Pete? Well, he almost became extinct. You see, King Rory was sniffing at the air, when suddenly his face turned red, and he squawked out loud,
"I will not be fooled again. I have the best eyes and biggest nostrils in the kingdom, and right now I'm looking at a lorikeet named Pete, and smelling a rat. Your plastic bottle may be clearer and more brittle than Etheline's, but my nose tells me that they're very similar. In fact, all of these plastic objects smell like Etheline's."
Then he looked straight at us and squawked in a deep voice,
"Royal subjects of Aussie land, now hear this. The future of our forest depends on the recycling plastics. Therefore it's important that everyone knows that styrenes, propylenes, PVCs and Pete's plastics are all based on Etheline's. Right now I feel as if I've been lied to. And I don't like liars. Does anybody remember what happened to Terry Phalate? Terry Phalate posed as a prince and tried to polymerize my daughter, Diane, who is a princess of Wales parakeet. As it turned out, Terry was only a court jester who was brilliant at impersonations, marvelous at mimicking, and a really superb liar bird. And no one lies to the king and gets away with it. He impersonated Prince Albert, who was a lyrebird from the Memnurid bird family. And when I realized that Terry was only the prince's cousin, I banished him from the kingdom forever, to live out the rest of his life in Sherbrooke Forest in Melbourne, Australia, which is already full of convicts. He quickly joined up with a band of outlaw robins and hoods, who were disguised as robin redbreasts and hooded parrots. But that was yesterday, and today is my birthday, so I'll go easy on you, little lorikeet. Now let me see. How will I punch you? I know. I'll officially name you Polyethylene after your sister and Terry Phalate after the lyrebird. That way you and everybody else will remember this day. And before I forget, you can also have the number 1 and the initials PET. You're never ever going to live that teacher's pet thing down either,"
he said, with a gleam in his eye and a smirk on his beak.
"And I want everyone to also remember that honesty is the best policy."
Unfortunately, Pete didn't hear any of this, because he had his headphones on, and was jumping around like a vegetarian in a butcher's freezer, listening to some rock group called the Devil Days. But Pete certainly heard the king's last word.
"Well, that's enough pinging for one day. Where's my birthday cake? I'm peckish. Let's eat.
Everyone sighed with relief and quickly shuffled off towards the royal bird sanctuary. At the end of the palace garden.